trophies from Joker, who makes his way onto the podium. Heads for underneath his umbrella and brings onto the podium the championship-winning trophy. And that's going to go to a man new to the British Touring Car Championship. The new British Touring Car Champion, ladies and gentlemen, is Lawrence Aiello. A very, very happy Laurent, winner of the Auto Trader British Touring Car Championship this year. His first attempt, gets at the trophy, he holds it aloft, and Laurent has done a splendid job this year for the Vodafone Nissan Racing team. And Lawrence Aiello, a very, very happy man. He's going to have to stay on the podium a bit longer, I think, and even Wester while the photographs are being taken. But a tremendous result for Nissan, and Lawrence Aiello, this year's champion, in fine style, racing in most cases the circuit is totally new to him, and that hasn't phased him at all. So, Laurent then, I think he's on the top step, yeah, as run the championship.
Right, here we are.
Very, very happy, despite the weather, despite how difficult it was to control the car. It was the right result, and he's absolutely overjoyed about it.
19th of September, 1999.
Very, very happy little Frenchman he is. Winner of the one last year.
Brookland,
and Lawrence Aiello,
hospitality flight.
absolutely thrilled about this.
Guests of the RAC. But there isn't much hospitality on the flight. We just had to go out and get our own dinner.
Yep, and to have a chat to the drivers. So,
chips and burgers in the pissing rain. We're soaking wet, me and Edward.
For good work.
We've had a hellish journey here.
So we'll try and grab the drivers. The
camera's wet, the video camera, you can probably see. It's breaking down. And it's not much cup really. Mixing down with rain. That stopped the first race.
Top three will be next chance, which will be on the grid before the final round of the series. Ian. Yeah, so Laurent Aiello.
Right.
We hope we'll see once more.
There's a tractor.
In the final race today.
Believe it or not, trying to push water off the circuit. I know you probably can't see this. But it's a bit of a disaster really.
They are at the moment.
I've got no camera for my SLR.
Then the champion.
So the only way I've got to prove it is this.
Undoubtedly his worst finish of the year, finishing in 9th place. He took just 2 points, but that's enough. Take him just outside the reach of David Leslie.
Right, there's enough of that.
And if David has a chance for Laurent Aiello, no doubt he'll take that, or he will take that chance. But meanwhile, perhaps David Bowman. The end of November as part of the Network Q Rally of Great Britain in the Formula 2 section. That's something to look forward to.
Ed,
and also
what do you think
what we
of this?
can do right now to keep you occupied until we can get back to live action here on the circuit is to remind you once again of what happens here at Silverstone throughout the rest of the year.
Right. Looks like most people are fucked off home. This is our wonderful hospitality suite. Look how happy the people look. Notice the lack of food or anything else. Yes, this is truly inspirational. Oh, and is the tractor going out again? The most pointless exercise ever known to man. Oh, he brought his friend. And on that note, I think we'll fade out. Unbelievably, we have motor racing.
20 years Bradley was Mr. Rejoin. Meanwhile, we see on the screen that he's Patrick Aker into Annie with Robert Bell. No, that's Drew Stewart. We're now on lap 5 going back. grass on the entrance into the corner isn't affected. Then we see John DL in second place, dropping back all the time from the very impressive Gary Paffin out in the lead, but second Rogers was trying to close up there, and that was close up with the influence as well. He needed to come in behind. Close up in the race for second place in the row, close the end of the race. That's it. Between the Collins and John DL, that's right, yes, the leader. But not being able to close off John DL, although he would dearly love to do so. Let's bring up Edward. To turn through Abbey, they're on their 7th lap at the moment. They'll be starting the last lap when they get back to you this time. Yes, that's the leader there. You see him on the screen. An impeccable drive this by Gary Paffett and
James. Yes, because James has had 4 and Ricardo's had 3.
So you've got a 4-point margin. No problem about dropping scores. They both had enough no scores so they can drop those already. But it does mean that it's a very difficult situation. Vincent Rademacher, as David Addison said that he would, has joined in at the back, presumably with tyres at their optimum.
Yes, and the tyres they'll be starting on are undoubtedly wet tyres, but of course the fact that this is a pit stop race, they have to stop between laps 5 and lap 22, 30-lap race, so they have to stop between laps 5 and lap 22. Normally it would be to change just 2 wheels. They can, of course, if they wish to, change 4 wheels, and they could change from wet tyres onto slick tyres and track tries that make that worthwhile. So, so that we will know which car has got what sort of tyres on it, but at the moment they all have, I would surmise, wet tyres on all 4 wheels. I've got Marcus Simmons Modest one up there. Has he got a view? Have you checked that out, Marcus? Everyone all wet, yes. Well, our guess that they're all wet at the moment, Marcus says, is the Vauxhall Vectra starting ahead of his teammate in this race, Ivan Muller, who was, of course, 3rd in the first race today. So the remaining cars lining up, including Vincent Rademacher in the other Volvos. So Volvo's almost top of 10 in the grid. David Leslie hoping that he'll go out of the season with a win as well. And Jean-Christophe Bouillon looking for his first ever win, starting 3rd on the grid, first win in touring cars. So they're all back now, and the red lights on the gantry will come on in a moment as engine revs rise. Red lights come on, lights go to green after quite a long wait. Pause now, and a very good start by Rickard Rydell, and almost not moving at all when the lights went to green was not yellow, but he's going now. The 2 cars are side by side, coming through the middle of them. There is James Thompson, the Honda, going to try and squeeze through. He's got up alongside Rickard Rydell, and he's dropped down to, has he dropped down to 3rd place? No, he hasn't. He's held on there on the outside. James Thompson goes wide, and into the gravel goes Aiello. Aiello is out of the race. Laurent Aiello is out of the first corner, and so coming, we see there in the gravel the new champion is out of the race. You've got Rickard Rydell possibly in the lead, Paul.
Yes, absolutely. He's in the lead, and it's Peter Cox who's up into 2nd place. David Leslie is 3rd. In 4th place is Jean-Christophe Bouillon, and that was a great start by Peter Cox. James Thompson has slipped all the way back to 3rd or 4th from last as they thread their way through Ireland, and so Peter Cox, the leading Honda runner there, he's the one who's leading the chase, but it's Rickard Rydell already with 1 win under his belt today, with a very large margin indeed as they turn already. The leader is already out of Abbey. The rest of the pack now just making their way through Abbey. We can see James Thompson's car right at the back there as Jason Plato. No, it's Bouillon. It's Bouillon who's gone off there at Abbey.
So mayhem on the first lap as the drivers, despite being on wet tyres, scramble for grip, and in 2nd place is Jason Plato. He's being challenged there by Matt Neal, I believe. Matt Neal there in 2nd place, or down to 2nd place, but the lead is undoubtedly there as Rickard Rydell. Another car, and that's James Thompson. I think all the front wheels are on grass rather than gravel, so he may be able to rejoin. But the lead is Rickard Rydell coming then out of Nuffield. Rickard Rydell coming through to complete lap 1 of 30. In 2nd place, a long way back is David Leslie. 3rd is Jason Plato. 4th is Matt Neal. 5th Benyu. 6th is John Fenner. 7th Anthony Reid. 8th is Ivan Muller. 9th is Will Hoy. And in 10th place In 10th place going through behind Will Hoy is Mark Blair. So Mark Blair is followed by Vincent Rademacher, and is James Thompson going to continue? We've got one of the Hondas coming through. Yes, we've got a Honda carrying on, that's James Thompson.
Gone past on the inside of Alain Menu. Alain certainly didn't make any attempt to close the door and pretty much let Anthony Reid through, so a new 5th place man.
And we're having a replay also from the onboard camera on Jason Plato's car of that situation again, which cost David Leslie 2nd place. So he's now down in 3rd, and Anthony Reid then, as you say, Paul, is up into 4th place. Anthony Reid then in 4th place, but Alain Menu is staying with him. So the Mondeos are swapped around, and still John Fellows, of course, ahead of Ivan Muller. Now, it was 2 years ago, wasn't it? A race like this was won by Will Hoy in a Ford Mondeo. For the Ford Mondeo, the one that we're seeing racing now in the hands of Anthony Reid and Alain Menu. Well, Rickard Rydell, but for him, I would have thought Mondeo has a chance of winning this race. But Rickard has gone through 9 laps now, completed 6.5 seconds at the end of the previous lap. He was ahead of Jason Plato. David Leslie goes through 3rd. Now Anthony Reid, but Alain Menu thinks he's the top dog in that team. He wants to have that place back, and they're going through Reid ahead of Menu, and the Vectras going through still with John Clement ahead of Ivan Muller. And Will Hoy still is leading the Independence couple, though Matt Neal now closing up on Mark Blair. So the Nissan, which is this year's car, essentially, that Matt Neal is using, but the Nissan that is of the type that the champion Laurent Aiello has been using, rather than the Nissan that he's been racing for the whole of the year so far. So there we have the 2 Vectras running nose to tail, still John Clement ahead of Ivan Muller. What's happened amongst Mondeos, Paul?
Still in the same order, Anthony Reid pulling away from Alain Menu. David, news from the pits?
9-1 to start.
Got that.
You got that, loud and clear.
So we had somebody else joining in with us there, Paul.
David, yes.
Yeah, but it wasn't David, no. So David hasn't anything to do with the pits so far. Well, there's a pit, they are ready to receive somebody in the pits. David, where are you? We've I think got a pit stop about to happen, so we'll change it off. And we look down to see it could be a Honda that's coming in. So we're going to have pit stops on the stand because they can't come out onto the pit apron until the lap on which the car's coming in. So we're going to have a pit stop this time. And it could be a gamble by the Honda team to put James Thompson on the slicks, or they're on onto a pair of slicks. David? No.
Yeah, Paul, just to say, it was earlier on just for a jump start.
David, where are you? Are you in the pits?
I am now, yes.
Yeah, who is it who's going to be stopping this time?
Bear with me, I'll tell you in a moment.
And we've still got John Clement and Ivan Muller running nose to tail, so it's side by side then between Mark Blair and Matt Neal. And Mark was not going to make life easy for Matt at all, but Matt has got through as they came out of Luffield, so it changed their the second place in the Independence Cup. Matt Neal now ahead of Mark Blair, and it is in fact James Thompson, as predicted, who's coming down the pit lane. David will tell us whether they're going to put slicks on that car or whether they're going to on the front of that car. David?
They look like slicks, but I have to get a bit further down the pit lane. But James Thompson coming in now, and it's going to be fronts that they change rather than any specific side. So James Thompson in the car up on the jacks very quickly. The coloured tabs come off the side of the car, and it's going to be all 4s possibly that they change. I think it might be
all 4s onto slicks.
Yeah, by the look of it. Certainly they changed 3, 2. Yeah, well, the car goes out. No, I suspect they've only changed 3 tyres because there are 3 now sitting in the pit lane. Interesting.
Move, change in the Vauxhall Vectras because John Cleland has lost out to Ivan Muller. Ivan Muller now up to 6th place ahead of John Cleland, who's back to 7th now as they come under the bridge back towards you here.
Okay, well we've got Rickard Rydell coming into Luffield. Just catch up with what's happening there. You see on the screen John Cleland, but John Cleland has now lost out to Ivan Muller, as Paul says. Actually he's getting away from Alain Menu, and Jason Plato, let's just see, the gap is going up all the time between Rickard Rydell and Jason Plato. 7.5 seconds it was at the end of lap 10. Now Rickard is completed lap 11. James is going to be, or has he? Yes, he has, hasn't he? So they're all in the train probably by now.
Yeah, James Thompson isn't actually up with the train yet. He and Mark Blair are right at the tail of the field, but you should catch them sooner or later. And of course, the effect on John Cleland is only going to be to lose his, what, 6th, yeah, it's going to lose a lot of pace, so it's really going to mess up John Cleland's race. Helmet hiding his disappointment there as he comes through the pits.
I think he's having a conversation with somebody as well, isn't he, there? So the safety car comes through with Vincent Rademacher's caught up with it, so there's just James Thompson to catch up, and then presumably the safety car can pull in again. No, sorry, the debris got to be picked up first, hasn't it?
Freudian slip.
Are they doing that now?
Not at Beckett, no. Oh no, I apologise. Yes, it's down at Ireland. It's at Ireland where, yes, there's a lot of work going on at Ireland.
Right, so these laps, of course, anything up to 5 laps are not part of the total race distance, so as soon as we know how many laps of the safety car we will have, then, of course, this is now giving David Leslie renewed hope of winning the final round. And James Thompson, still with a very tall order ahead of him, but he's, remember, on slick tyres anyway, so overtaking is not going to be that easy, because although there may be a would it be drier, possibly, David? The drier line is available.
Certainly not the driest.
Not the driest line, no. So past the Vectra, and then John Cleland down in 6th place, but of course yet to take his drive-through penalty. So the leader with you, Paul, at Beckett's.
Yes, and getting very close indeed. 4th, 5th and 6th places between Muller, Neal and Cleland there, with Will Hoy trying to join in as well if the other boys will let him, as they swing down through Ireland and go down towards Abbey. Rickard Rydell having got away from David Leslie by a couple of lengths or so on this first half lap, but David Leslie significantly clear of Alain Manu. But there was a move up on the inside there by Matt Neal, and he's going to take 3rd place. Yes, he does, from Ivan Muller. So Matt Neal, 4th place I should say, Matt Neal taking that place from Ivan Muller as they came into Abbey, but I don't know if Muller's going to be able to get him back as they come into Bridgebendian.
He's going to have a big go, and he succeeds in doing so, and he comes through. That's the sort of move you'd expect from Ivan Muller. He was determined, he'd already worked it out, and he was overtaken, but Matt Neal's going to have a go back at him as they come into the fire, they're side by side, and Matt Neal has the advantage once more, but Muller again, he's moving to the left to try and get through on the inside. He's going to Brookland to get his opposition to do that, but he can't do it, and he's got John Cleland right behind him, and Will Hoy comes through on the inside there of John Cleland. He's having a go at Ivan Muller, and they're side by side, and John and Will, 2 former champions, side by side. John, of course, is going to have to peel off into the pits anyway to take his drive-through penalty. He's doing that now. Rickard Rydell comes through to complete his 26th lap of the lap. He's now a 32-lap race, and flying along in 3rd place there is Anthony Reid, and in 4th place Matt Neal now. Ivan Muller is 5th, 6th is Will Hoy, 7th is Vincent Rademacher, 8th is Jason Plato, 9th is James Thompson, and so Matt Neal goes off. He goes onto the gravel, he gets back onto the tarmac, but he's lost at least 1 place. He's also dropped behind Will Hoy. He's dropped out of the lead of the Independence Cup. He's going to lose several places as a result of that, and in fact he's dropped back behind everybody except Mark Blair. So Matt Neal throwing it away, having worked his way past Ivan Muller. He's now dropped behind not only Ivan but many others as well. Rydell leads Leslie with you, Paul.
Yes, that's right, and far enough, comfortably enough ahead of Leslie. Matt Neal trying to sort things out, get the car, just get the wheels, get the tyres clean before he does the same thing again at Beckett's. He's behind James Thompson, so he's ahead of Mark Blair at least. But
look at Will
Hoy there having a good go up on the inside. He's going to take him, is he? Yes, Will Hoy, terrific car control there with the Renault Laguna, the remaining challenging Renault Laguna, doing very well indeed in the hands of Will Hoy there, challenging against the Vauxhall Vectra of Ivan Muller as they come out of the Abbey and into Bridgebend. He's going to go up on the inside here.
He's doing an Ivan to Muller, isn't he? He's coming through on the inside of him, but Ivan stays on the inside line for the left-hander at Priory. So, and coming up down the outside there on slick tyres, remember, it's Vincent Rademacher. And so we're going back on the inside, going into Brookland. This is Will Hoy, so it's Will from Ivan. Right behind him is Vincent in the Volvo. The Volvo, Rickard Rydell leads out for the 27th time of Lovefield, followed by David Leslie, who's being caught by Anthony Reid. And a tremendous battle. There's a fantastic racing with yeah, a gentle touch there by Will Hoy on Ivan Muller, who can't stop Ivan coming through. So the Frenchman is back ahead once more. So it's Ivan Muller back into 4th place, and coming slowly into the pits is Jason Plato. So I'm afraid Jason's car is not going to go any further. So limping in, Jason Plato then is retiring the remains of his Renault from this race. Meanwhile, we see a fantastic fight going on for 4th place between Ivan Muller and Will Hoy, with Vincent Rademacher on slick tyres in the Volvo just behind them.
Yes, Will Hoy very late on the brakes as they come into Beckett's, right on the tail of Ivan Muller, and Ivan Muller's going to run a little bit wide on the exit of the corner, and Will Hoy says, I'll come up on the inside if you're not careful, Ivan, and Ivan says, yes, we've got to go left-hander next, so I'll take the line if you don't mind. So Muller then managing to stay just ahead of Will Hoy as they head down towards Abbey, and as you say, Ian, Vincent Rademacher is very handily placed as well, though, with the Volvo in 6th place at the moment. Here they come onto the brakes for Abbey. Again, Will Hoy has the Renault Laguna nudging on the back, on bumper of the Vauxhall Vectra as they come out of the corner again, up the hill towards Bridgebend again. Will Hoy is thinking about, shall I go left, shall I go right, or shall I hold station? Vincent Rademacher wants to play as well here.
Am I right that Will went on to slick on the front for this pit stop? David might be able to remember that for us, or Mark's taken heard of it. But no, he didn't. Oh, right. Well, I think he may have done. So he's on slicks, Vincent on 4 slicks. Ivan certainly up to the wet all round. And the 3 of them then go 3 abreast into Brookland. we've got Matt Neal joining in with them as well. The four of them fighting for 4th place. And James Thompson said, I want to join in this as well. He's going to be with them shortly. Now, they're shuffling places on every yard now as they come out of the corner. It's Muller, it's then Rademacher and Hoy and Neal side by side for the Michelin Cup for Independence. And Mark Blair isn't that far back. He's just behind James Thompson. They're side by side. Will Hoy and Matthew Neal going past the pits, absolutely neck and neck as they go down towards corner. Vincent Rademacher's moved ahead and they're still side by side. Will Hoy, yes, just about hanging on in front as they turn into the corner. No, he isn't. He's going to be passed on the inside. Yes, he is by Matthew Neal, who this time doesn't make a mess of cops, and so he does actually just stay ahead. But Will Hoy's quicker out of the corner. They're side by side coming up, coming out. This is the Michelin Cup lead that they're fighting over. They're going into the right-hander there of Maggers, and there's almost contact there. Sideways, like there was contact. Paul, yeah.
Yeah, there was contact. Will Hoy gave Matt Neal a little nudge as they came onto the brakes for Beckett. That Matt Neal kept the Nissan pointing straight ahead, and of course, whilst Will Hoy and Matt Neal have been having this little battle, so it's kind of encouraged Ivan Muller to say, well, I'll take this opportunity to vanish off into the distance, and Vincent Rademacher trying to go with him, but I think Matt Neal has just about got the legs on Will Hoy now, but Will had a great, and he's still not given up. Will is right there, still on the back bumper of Matt Neal.
David on wet. Sorry? Will's on wet tyres. Wet all round, right, thanks very much, yeah, and Matt Neal, presumably, David, went on to wet city at the front. I don't think so, yeah. Can you just check that? Yeah, at the moment, we've got Matt Neal first come on Vincent Rademacher once more, but Vincent is on all 4 slicks, and is lapping as quickly as Ivan Muller, who is on 4 wets. Meanwhile, the second place situation is by no means resolved. I still think that David Leslie is at risk of losing that second place to Anthony Reid, who of course was in contention. That's why he's running as number 2 for the championship until right to the last couple of rounds last year. Finished second to Ricard Rydell. Ricard at the moment out in the lead, completing his 29th lap, 3 laps to go. Ricard set the quickest lap of the race on 2 laps to go, 1:33.3. He leads. There we have Ricard Rydell's teammate Vincent Rademacher in pursuit of Ivan Muller, being pursued by Matt Neal, and Will Hoy there, not that far back in the Renault. David?
Matt Neal on wet tyres.
Thanks, David. And John Cleland, after his drive-through penalty, just to see, John is in 10th place. He's 23.4 seconds behind the leader. He's 6.5 seconds, though, behind Mark Blair. So he could catch that up before the end.
Yes, only 3 laps to go though now, so it's going to be a busy job for John if he's going to be able to do that. Meanwhile, Ivan Muller has Vincent Rademacher right behind him, and Vincent has Matt Neal right behind him, so the battle continues for 4th, 5th and 6th places between those 3, with Will Hoy the tail of Ivan Muller as they go onto the brakes for Beckett's for the last time. Rademacher closes right up there. Matt Neal isn't quite close enough to join in just yet. Then Will Hoy and James Thompson very close together indeed as they head back towards you. Through Abbey goes Ricard Rydell, a faultless pair of races from him this weekend, but his reward is only going to be 3rd in the championship for last year's champion here.
Yes, a lot of bad luck he had at the start of the year, broken gear levers and all kinds of things that weren't his fault, and so what might have been 2 championships in a row is going to end up with only 3rd place, but you see why he was last year's champion today. Impeccable drive by Ricard Rydell, coming through Priory up towards Brooklands, and whatever has been required of him, he has delivered today in Volvo's, we hope, temporary retirement from the British Touring Car Championship, going into Luffield, pursued by David Leslie, and actually he's close to getting about half a dozen lengths, but he much rather wide there. Luffield is going to take a big exit to the corner. Meanwhile, Vincent Rademacher has gone ahead of Ivan Muller, and has got Matt Neal side by side with him, the Vector driver, but they're coming out to take the checker flag. Ricard Rydell wins the final round of the 1999 British Touring Car Championship. 2nd is David Leslie. 3rd is Anthony Reid, and now what's going on for 4th place? There's one Volvo on the screen. Here is the other Volvo. Vincent Rademacher is going to take. Vincent Rademacher will take 4th. 5th is Ivan Muller. 6th is Matt Neal. 7th is Will Hoy. 1st and 2nd in the Michelin Cup for independent drivers. In 8th place, it will be Mark Blair, although James Thompson got ahead of him, but James has dropped behind him again as they run up towards the line behind James. John Cleland slows right down. John Cleland slows right down as he takes the checkered flag and finishes in 10th place, and I think he's going to collect, yes, the St Andrews flag and go round on the slowing down lap to relish and savour his last drive in the British Touring Car Championship, a championship that he first won back in 1989, and of course won it again subsequently in the Vauxhall Cavalier. So now in the Vectra, John Cleland goes round. There you see him on the screen. Ricard Rydell, the winner of the final race of the 1999 British Touring Car Championship in champion style, but not this year's champion. This year's champion hardly featured in the race, of course, losing it entirely of his own volition, losing it getting sideways at the first corner and slithering off into the gravel. So Laurent Aiello, after an impeccable season, not ending the season in quite the way that we might have expected from from the champion who won it in the previous race, David Leslie finishing in second place, who came to Silverstone just with that outside chance of taking the championship. Well, the drivers will now complete this slowing down lap. Will then make their way onto the Toka podium. And before then, oh, David, yes, quickly.
Yeah, just quickly to mention that we don't have a lap of honour, so I'll try and grab a word with the drivers on our way to the presentation area.
Okay, David, but before then, we will take a short break.
Welcome once again to Silverstone on behalf of American Express. Last April we sponsored the meeting for rounds 3 and 4 of the British Touring Car Championships, and it's great to be back for the final 2 rounds. We're hoping for lots of close racing and another classic battle, the BTCC Drivers' Crown. And whatever the result, American Express will be an exciting day out. We'd also like to offer you the opportunity to enter a prize draw for VIP tickets for the final stages of the Network Q Rally at Great Britain. Just stop by one of the American Express stands today, either in the Trade Mall or by the Treacle Bridge, to enter the prize draw and hear more about the blue card from American Express.
Well, I certainly think that American Express race day goers have been treated to some magnificent touring car racing today. That was a instant-packed race to end.